These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Friday, April 26th, in between games 2 and 3 of the Celtics-Heat series. A reminder, as always, leave a like on the video and subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We are dropping content literally every single day for you guys throughout the playoffs. So be here. Turn the notification bell on. We'd appreciate it very much. And if you're listening on podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff, make sure to follow us there. Hit the little follow button. There's one on Spotify. People don't know that. You can follow us on Spotify and leave us 5 stars as well on both platforms and a review if you listen on Apple. Sam, how you doing?
Pretty good. I've almost had a birthday in between games, but as you're listening to this, finally game day. Finally time to stop thinking about game 2. We have a fun show coming up. We're going to do a little rundown of all the recap news, people talking in between games. We have plenty of NBA playoffs to react to, including the Pacers-Bucks, which we both just watched. And then we'll have the rat list.
Yes, sir. Yes, we will. All right, let's get right into Celtics Heat here. So obviously, like I mentioned, we're in between games. There was practice yesterday as we're recording this a couple days ago. As y'all are listening, I was at practice and I wrote about what I felt was the biggest takeaway, which was all the talk about the Celtics defense to threes. Like that all happened immediately after the game. That was all like in the post-game press conference. That was the question. But their offense was also like really bad. They played terrible offense. The way I phrased it was the Celtics got baited by the Heat into attacking bad mismatches. The Heat did a great job of stunting and recovering, getting back out to guys. They weren't doubling. They were like fake doubling and getting back out to shooters. And so the Celtics 3-point count went from, I believe, 49 to 32, which is just like an unacceptable drop off. Joe Mazzulla, after he talked, he was walking away and he goes, "It's funny. Now you guys want us to shoot more threes, huh?" And like cracked a joke at the media scrum. But truly, like, yes, that's what they need to do. And they got baited into playing a style of offense that is not true to what's worked for them all season. And credit the Heat. This is not a completely Celtics suck. Like, obviously, they need to be better, but the Heat did a great job of adjusting and forcing the Celtics to put it frankly, shit on themselves. But now the Celtics need to switch it up and get back on track in game 3, because for as big of an issue as the defense was, and I mean, we talked about that numerous times since game 2, the offense was really, really bad, almost equally as bad. I mean, the Heat only scored 111 points. The Celtics have to be better.
Oh, they do. I mean, with all of the shit that happened in game 2 taken into account, if you take Boston's game 1 point total and you slap it onto game 2, they would have won the game. So it's on the Celtics to be able to stay focused when things don't go their way. It's something they preached about leading up to this playoff run. All the talk about we're watching these other teams, we're watching different playoff runs, we're going to figure out how to deal with things when they don't necessarily fall the way we're hoping. Yet the first instance of that happening, they're unable to find their footing and they end up dropping a game at home, which, I mean, we're 2 games in. Brother, you can't be dropping games at home yet at all. That's why you've had such shitty results in the playoffs for years, is because you lose home games. This is a new thing. Ever since the bubble, they come back and they just don't win home games. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, even if you go like deeper into it, like you said, if you just put their game 1 total onto game 2, they win. But even if you take their game 1 3-point attempts counter and slap it onto game 2, and you even take the percentage they shot in game 2, which was 30, let me double check here, 37.5%, which still isn't bad. That's 18 threes to 12 threes. And that's a much different game. It's not even a matter of the raw point total to point total. It's just the shot profile they got in game 2 was so drastically worse than what was happening in game 1. And like I said, it's credit to the Heat, credit to Eric Spoelstra, credit to the way they were playing defense. But to put it frankly, for all the talk after game 1 of we got out physicaled, we can't let it happen again, it fucking happened again. And it was worse. You got out physicaled worse in game 2 than in game 1. And this time around, it cost them the game. And I don't doubt their ability to be better in the next one, because that's what they did all season. Every time they've lost, it's been, yeah, we're going to it hasn't been, I should say, yeah, we'll be better next time. It's been, we know what we did wrong. We're ready to move on. And then they have been better. It is not empty promises that we've heard in years past. It is a legitimate improvement in the next game, like a direct improvement game to game. You can see them making the improvements of what went wrong. So I don't doubt their ability to do that. But for a team that came out of game one saying, we're going to be physical, they just weren't. And that was frustrating.
I mean, they just didn't really give them much of anything. And like you mentioned, they lost game 2 partly because they weren't physical. Like, I know we have it on the sheet. Porzingis, you put 8 of the 12 turnovers were his fault, and it was because he was trying to post up
I'll pull it
and
up.
he wasn't able to make the catch. Like,
Mhm.
he's been dominant this year anytime he gets the ball at the free throw line, and Miami said, okay, we're just not going to let him catch it. It's something that we kind of picked up on when we did the playback for Sixers Heat last week. And I was like, Miami doesn't look scary to you. Like, Embiid's trying to catch the ball, and they're not letting him catch it, and it's Embiid. And you agreed. You were like, yeah, like Porzingis, he's not as strong as Embiid. That zone isn't going to be pretty.
Porzingis isn't as strong as Embiid on one leg. Like with how good Porzingis has been this year, his greatest weakness is physicality. And we don't have to do like a full film. I mean, yeah, I guess that's what we're doing, but it won't be long, is what I'm saying. It won't be like awful for audio listeners, but like first turnover of the game for the Celtics comes out of a Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis pick and roll. And Kristaps Porzingis just no physicality on the seal. Like you see Tatum do this all the time. Tatum sets a screen. He immediately gets his ass in front of the other player, seals him off, then has an open driving lane, and he can draw 2 and work from there. Porzingis literally pushes Jovic in front of him and then is late on the roll. And as Bobby Kritsky pointed out to me when we were watching this at practice the other day, Jaylen Brown's on autopilot. Like he could have recognized and saw the pass wasn't there, but he's just like, oh, that pass is definitely going to be there. But it was just a weak seal by Porzingis, a lazy pass by Jaylen Brown. And if you're getting out physical by fucking Nikola Jovic, what do you expect? Like what is the outcome going to be for the rest of the game if that's what happens? So that's one of their 12 turnovers. And that's one example of how it was caused by Porzingis. Excuse me. The next one was just Porzingis saying, "We outlet pass," and just throwing a wide receiver look to who's that? Duncan Robinson on the break. So that's 2 that are on Porzingis. Next one is Jaylen Brown dribbling the ball at the logo. Al Horford gets the ball, tries to force feed it to Porzingis, who just can out physical Haywood Highsmith. And again, the passer is on the passer's on autopilot. Like Horford, you couldn't have either given him more time or just seen that the pass wasn't there. Like, why try to force that in there? There's no physicality from Porzingis, and there's no awareness from Horford not to make the pass.
When Horford makes that pass, if he was patient, like you're saying, there probably was an option to throw him a lob over the top.
Yep.
Because Haywood, he overcommitted.
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes.
If you just wait another second, like once you get here, if he can double back and Horford sees it right here. Mm-hmm. You're right.
I mean, that's a talent thing, obviously. Like whatever point guard would be passing the ball may be able to see that, but not every player will.
Yeah, but Horford should be able to make the pass. And by the way, 3 turnovers, all 3 on Porzingis or involving Porzingis and the Celtics trying to force him the ball. 3 for 3 so far. The first 3 turnovers of the game are all because Porzingis can't physical. Great defense by Sam Hauser. This one isn't Porzingis. This is just unlucky. Derek White just gets the ball thrown off his shoulder. It can't, but like it does. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't one where you get mad at the player. This is just like, what the fuck? Lock in. Like it's not like an execution thing. It's just a freak like focus up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Tatum just throws the ball and Derek White can't catch it. So that's not on Porzingis, but that's only one of the 4. Next one, Porzingis. I'm sorry. This has been a thing all season. If Porzingis is getting pushed around by Nikola Jovic, we're going to go nowhere. Like he doesn't even attempt to have the screen here. And I get the whole point is like for him to slip it and it not to matter. But like, this is just like, you're not fooling anybody by doing that. And then once you get here, you have 2 guys in front of you. As soon as Nikola Jovic steps above the 3-point line, Kristaps Porzingis needs to swing around, put his back on him, and post in. Instead, he just gets beat by Nikola Jovic to the spot. And Tatum, again, forces it. And this is on Tatum for not recognizing it, but it's on Porzingis for... It's Nikola Jovic, dude. Come on. You're 7'2". You got to be able to out-physical him. That's ridiculous. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's just fronting every single pass, and it's another one of those things that we talked about with the adjustments. Part of it is on Porzingis. He's not being physical enough. He's getting pushed around. He's not sealing off these guys. But you're mentioning it too, in fairness, like the rest of the Celtics need to recognize what Miami has done every single time you try and get him the ball. They are overcommitting to denying him the ball. And if you're patient, you can make them pay for that.
I agree, but I think it's like 80-20 Porzingis, because when the Heat are focusing, like you look at up here, they're bringing 2 up here so Derek White can't take a 3. Like they are denying threes. They're not letting the Celtics take threes. And when you're doing that, you have to be able to get looks inside. And if Porzingis is this weak on the seal, let me rephrase that, not fucking sealing at all, you're just not going to be able to get looks inside. That's the look they've gone to all season. Get Porzingis on a mismatch. Get him on a mismatch. And instead of either posting him up and getting him on his back or getting in front of him, he just lives in this fucking no man's land. And Tatum almost actually gets this pass off, but Jovic just beats him to the spot. And Porzingis can't corral it. And Joe talked about this too. He said, when asked about like Porzingis and the Heat's adjustments to him, he said, I think obviously fighting to anytime you have a post entry, you want to get it closer to the basket. So I think it all coincides. I think switching, there's a reason why people do it, because it slows you down. It makes the 2-on-1s a lot longer to see, and you have to fight for those. And so every layer of it has to be better. The initial screen has to be better. The seal has to be better. Catching the pass closer to the scoring area has to be better. The pass has to be better. So just those things, they test your discipline to be better at all, all of those little things. And it happens over and over and over in this game. Literally, we've watched, 5 turnovers, and 4 are just Porzingis not being physical and the Celtics not waiting to make a pass. In a game where they're denying threes, that cannot happen. Like, that is unacceptable, lazy offense. And it happened the whole game. And for as bad as the defense was at the 3-point line, like, if they just execute these things better, it's a game. It's a completely different game.
I mean, it was a game anyway.
Exactly.
They really just were
Weird.
too sloppy in this one. It was a shameful instance of them letting go of the rope and not being up for the occasion in a situation that they probably should have been. Oof, that was a dumbass turnover.
This is just a lazy pass. Like, it's a bad pass by Drew, and
there also just wasn't time.
Yeah, you get to shoot. I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to make something happen, and it's 0.3 seconds left, so it's not like the end of the world, but it's just like, that's like the Derek White one. I put in the same thing of like, you got to be better, but you're not going to be like super duper mad at it because it's not an execution thing. Next one, Derek White at the top again.
That's one he should have.
What are we doing? For audio listeners, he's in the post against Jovic, and Jovic just gets out from behind him and steals the entry pass. Like, this isn't on Derek White at all. Porzingis just has to front him better and be more physical. This cannot happen. Like, when you're that tall, that big, it's a problem.
It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good in this game. Doesn't look good going forward. This is something that they now know they can exploit. It seems like it should be an easy fix on the Celtics side of it, but I don't know. Do you think he's going to really be able to out-strength guys now after a game of being exposed? I don't think so.
Even here, like, Duncan Robinson just ended up stripping the ball from Brown in this play, but like, what is non-screen by Porzingis? What are we doing? That has to be a screen.
You go through the whole season and be like non-screen.
Exactly. Like, you're not doing anything. That's completely ineffective and useless. And for what it's worth, Duncan Robinson does slap him on the wrist, but that doesn't matter because it's a physical game and you got to be stronger. Porzingis isn't even in the game here. This is just a sloppy Drew turnover, which can't happen in that spot. And then you saw it, like, of the 12 turnovers, 8 were direct result of Porzingis not good enough. And that just, it can't happen. The Celtics got out physical all game. Their offense was terrible. I believe, let me find it here. Porzingis was 0 of 4 when guarded by Hero. And I believe, I'm going to find the exact stat and say it, but the Celtics, whenever they got switched on to a matchup they quote unquote liked, it was just a disaster. Like, Hero on the game.
A lot of settling.
Right? When guarded by Hero.
A lot of settling.
The Celtics shot, let's see. Jaylen Brown was 5 of 11 against Hero. Outside of that, Tatum 0 of 2, Porzingis 0 of 4, Drew Holiday 1 of 5. You lose.
Can't happen.
Like, if you can't take advantage of that, you lose. 0 of 4.
Okay, so to his, not credit, but like in his defense, he was taking shots he usually makes.
He was.
It was just a bad day for Porzingis, like, overall. Like, we can pick on him. I don't think it's directly his fault. I think everybody could have been better in this game. Yeah. But if you're pulling up his misses, like, this is a laughable mismatch that he can't even see Hero. I couldn't believe that didn't go in.
Yeah, and we don't have to like go over all these. We can just talk while it's on. But like, again, in a game where they're chasing people off the 3, we just saw them chase Derek White off the 3. You got to be able to convert. And that one's like just a tough 3. It is what it is. But when you get a guy you're comfortable with in the post, like the Celtics are looking to exploit a hero mismatch on this play. They run a Derek White Porzingis
Correct.
pick and roll, which has been money for them. The Heat switch to avoid the
Seal
three, and
them.
then Porzingis turns around and just whiffs a jumper he makes all season. It's just it's frustrating, and you got to be able to take advantage of this. And when Porzingis was as ineffective as he was in foul baiting against Tyler Hero, you lose, and that's how it is. And it can't happen. You have to be able to take advantage of the Tyler Hero mismatch, and if we want to talk about on a grander scale, that's a look you need to have for the entire playoffs against
Correct.
mismatches when teams are chasing off the 3-point line. Like, it's not just a Heat thing. That is a
We
NBA
both made the
playoffs
same
thing.
connection. Like, we had the
Yeah.
light bulbs go off at the same time. I was like,
Yeah, like
well, what if they have Dame? Like, they got to be able to do this
exactly.
to Dame. They have to do this to Jalen Brunson. They have to do this to Maxey. Like, any other team that you may be worried about playing in the Eastern Conference, you have to be like, well, what if they want to have a mismatch against this guard that doesn't play a particular ton of
You got to do it
defense?
against Jamal Murray and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope if you make it that far. Like you got to do this against every single team you're going to play, and you can't have a game like that. You can't afford it.
Hero is the only creator that Miami has.
And he was
you have to exploit his weaknesses. You just do.
Mhm. And to his credit, Tyler Hero was fucking incredible in that game. There was a stat that was like, that is the best, like there is like some stat that measures creation. That was the best game of his career. Like he was like that. Like,
You're telling me somebody on the Miami Heat had the best game of their career against the
Mhm.
Celtics? I'm not shocked. It happens every playoff game.
I don't know the exact stat, but there was something that came out of it. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Drew Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Drew Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. The point is, the Celtics, and Joe Mazzulla talked about this a lot after the game, the Celtics were so concerned with guarding the Adebayo here in pick and roll because they were getting something good out of it every single time, that by the end of the game, they ended up leaving open shooters, and that leads to the Caleb Martin play that made you so mad, rightfully so. And you just got to be better, and it starts with being more physical and not giving up that many threes to start the game. The Celtics, you know what I thought when I was watching the Bucks game? Wow, the Celtics played Budenholzer ball against the Heat and just guarded the paint and let them shoot all the threes, and it fucking blew up in their face. Like, hello, this is what the Bucks did to you 2 years ago with Grant Williams. Hello, like,
Well,
do we learn?
here's the thing about guarding threes versus guarding the paint. You have it on the sheet very lazy, and very lazy can be poked at literally the entire game too from the Celtics. But
Yep.
when you think about it from a defensive perspective, right? If you are playing against an inferior opponent, which you will be for a lot of the playoffs, barring you even get out of this round, let's not get ahead of ourselves anymore. You have to pump the brakes on all the fun. You're going to have to control the game. And one way you can let it get out of control is by giving them open threes, letting them get easy looks at the shot that is worth more points. If you're going to get out-talented, it's going to be by guys creating shots and getting in the paint. If you're going to get out-lucked or out whatever you want to call Tuesday or Wednesday, that's what's going to happen to you when you leave guys open from three. You leave more up to chance by giving them a big swing and variable on their open looks.
Yeah, I just, the defense has to be better. It has to be more physical. It has to be more focused. And as much as I mean, when we did the whole video going over the threes, we agreed at the start of the game, like, yeah, those first quarter and a half, like, sure, you play the math game, you play it, but once you see the math game start to tilt not in your favor because they're making all the fucking threes, you got to change. You got to adjust. And the Celtics didn't do that. And I mean, Joe Mazzulla said something to the effect of, I want to find the exact thing. Bobby Manning asked him a question about, if you could go back, would you change anything? Basically, like, would you trust the math again? Would you change it again? And Joe said, I mean, looking back, yeah, you're always going to want to do things better when you look back. The idea is to make the decision knowing that you can't look back. At the end of the day, there's a process to the way we played. We made some adjustments. They outplayed us on the offensive end, and we found the small schematic areas that we know we can be better at. And so I don't know if that sounds to me like, yeah, I wish I changed my adjustment, or yeah, we're going to go into next game with a set game plan and trust it for the entire game. And if that's the case, I don't love it. If that's like, you can't have, I totally understand and I agree with the concept of having a plan going into the game, trusting the math and letting it ride.
I mean,
but there's got to be a cutoff point. There's got to be a point where you change your game plan like that. There has to be.
Change nothing else. Porzingis was 1 of 9, and he couldn't get a catch. If Porzingis shoots 4 of 9, this is a different game. It doesn't make up the 10 points you lost by, but it sure does change the way things looked when the game was winding down.
Yep.
And That's with a franchise record of 3s for Miami. It's with all the freak things you want to point out. Anything we could talk about that we were like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. All of that could still happen as long as Porzingis makes shots he usually makes, and the Celtics will be fine. Mm-hmm. And Porzingis is somebody that really hasn't had a ton of games this season that it was like, he sucked for a week. It just doesn't really happen to him.
I mean, you say it wouldn't make it up, but it could make it up because he was also 0 of 4 from 3 on shots he needs to make. If they're guarding Derek White the way they did in one of the clips we saw, like if he makes 2 of those 3s and 2 more 2s and it's 5 of 9, tie game. Let's play. You know what I'm saying? So there's a balance to it all. I am desperately hoping there is what's the opposite of static? A
kinetic.
Yeah, a kinetic game plan. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it cannot be one thing. You have to have the ability to change. That's the exact word. Thank you. There has to be a fluid game plan. There has to be. I 100% on board. Go into it with the game plan. Don't look back. Except when things go wrong. Except when your game plan clearly isn't working. Then you have to change, and that has to be the difference. And that's on Joe. And it sounds like they are ready to hopefully be better in the next game. Like Kristaps ended his press conference, saying something along the lines of like, I don't know how much I want to say, but we know what we can do better and we will be better. So it sounds like they're like preparing and ready. But you know what? So is Spo. Spo is going to come out with different stuff because he's the best fucking coach in the league. And you got to be ready to adapt to his change. This is a big Joe moment for what it's worth. Series not over. It's one game. It sucks you lost it. As they said after the game, shit's going to happen in the playoffs. The 08 Celtics went 7 games the first 2 rounds. Now, Sam, I'm not saying these Celtics need or should do that. But the point is shit's going to go wrong, and you have to be able to adjust. Huge spot, game 3. As if that wasn't fucking obvious. Like, you got to show that you're able to adjust. It needs to happen tonight as you're listening to this. It has to.
You just have to improve on what you can control. That's like the big key for me. I don't think you can sit here and be like, well, Miami's not going to shoot 23 threes and make them again. They might.
You can hope.
So you have to you have to execute better. You have to stay focused better. You have to control the things you can control. And the Celtics didn't really do that on Wednesday. It's partly why they lost. They did a better job of it in game 1. The shots also fell for them and didn't fall for Miami in game 1. So we'll see. We'll see if they get into a little bit of a dogfight, how they do. I hope they don't. Hope it's a blowout. I would love that. I would feel good. I'd feel comfortable. I don't want to sweat. I've done enough sweating this round.
For what it's worth, if there's any team you should trust on the road, the Celtics have been a very good road team. Not only this year, but in the playoffs. So
I don't trust them anywhere now.
If you want any
They lost my trust.
They had it, and then they lost.
They went 37-4 at home this year, and I was like, maybe they'll win home playoff games. Nope.
Plankton, game 1, Plankton handed it to you, and they said, you can have the trust back. Here you go.
Yep, you can have it. You can have it.
All right. You want to jump over to the email here, see what the people have to say? I'm sure they're all lovely. I'm sure it's all sunshine and rainbows and flowers and no panicking whatsoever. But a reminder, if you'd like to send us any thoughts throughout the playoffs, hbtcpod hbtcpod@gmail.com. I'll read it out. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Send us an email there. We read them every single full pod, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday usually, but Saturday today because I'm on a flight tomorrow and we won't have time to record. So here we
You'll
go.
get a recap in the morning.
Yeah,
We'll still be
obviously.
here, but
Always.
both coming today. We figured we would talk about the games from the week. That way the content's current.
It's just easiest for our schedule. I'm going to be moving around. RJ says, what's poppin'? Responding 30 seconds after game 2. I saw this come in as we were doing our game recap, or during the pressers even. RJ says, hey guys, look, this isn't going to be a nuanced take, nor is it going to be doom and gloom. But whether it's execution, coaching, or both, at some point in the third quarter, the Celtics have to try something different. If that doesn't work, try another something different. I saw no curveballs tonight, just a lot of batting practice, soft toss. More later. Wait, one more thing. Please no blaming Heat Magic or that they made fortunate shots. The Miami game plan was to win the math battle, and they did. Be well, and let's win this thing Saturday. RJ, and just fucking pissed off right now. Yeah, I mean,
well, they did. They won the math battle, but they also did make a billion threes.
Yeah, like I stand on to shoot 53, 50 whatever percent in a playoff game. There has to be a mix of bad defense and crazy shot making, and there was crazy math defying shot making, but that's not the reason the Celtics lost. The Celtics lost because of what RJ said. They just were throwing home run derby soft toss the whole game instead of throwing curveballs, which Joe Mazzulla talked about for the entirety of the preseason. We didn't see the curveball was Porzingis, and Porzingis got hit by pitch. I'll stop with the baseball now. Anyways, next one. RJ says, what's popping? Some real thoughts about the game 2 loss. Hey, gents, I was going to email this, but I dropped it as a tweet instead. Short version. The Heat beat the Celtics because they applied ball pressure early in each possession and in the second half and disrupted the C's offensive timing. This is true. Joe talked about this during practice as well. He said, let me find the quote. I know I wrote about it in my article about the offense being dog shit.
Oh, you look. We did the video on all the Miami threes, and some of the reasons they got those threes was because there was no ball pressure from Boston. It was just like, hey, come on up to the 3-point line. We'll let you just step right up. Free look.
Yeah. Mazzulla said, yeah, I mean, disrupt the rhythm. We're talking about like what Miami did with the full court pressure and pressure they sent. Have a starter actions later in the shot clock. I think that's the test of switching, pressing, aggressive defenses. You got to fight for your space earlier. You got to get into your actions quicker because it may take a second or third one to break down the defense. So just the Heat did a good job of forcing them to go later and later. Also, for what it's worth, Sam and I do writing content all the time too. So CelticsBlog.com, we're literally pumping out articles throughout the playoffs. If you'd like a written coverage to go with your spoken coverage, we're there. CelticsBlog.com.
I have one.
Just thought I'd say it.
I might have to message somebody about this. But I while I was cooling off after game 2, I just hammered out 2 of them. One of them
right
went
now,
up,
right? Keys to banner 18.
Heart monitor. Oh, Keys is up.
Yeah, I just went up. 7:26 p.m. So tonight.
Oh.
Yes,
got to tweet it. Thank you. Did not know that.
It's on the front.
I saw it today. It hadn't even been touched.
Right there. But yeah, CelticsBlog.com. Us, our content. Noah, Oliver, Robbie, Michael, Mark, everybody. Everyone's putting stuff out. Bill, obviously, Bill's a goat. Adam,
the man.
Takeaways. Get all the stuff. Bobby Manning. Everyone there is awesome. You should go read the
Great
content
site.
literally every single day. It's there. Okay. Next email, thank you, RJ, as always. From, I believe, a new emailer. We've got Lucas Holanda. Hello. Possible problem. Hello, guys. I know that the whole thing about sacrifice and following the game plan at all costs is in general a great idea and mentality to have in mind. But in my mind, I had a thought this could maybe eliminate the killer/scorer mentality of the Jays. Did some checking, and Jalen had 2 games this season with 40-plus points at Denver and Indiana, at which I don't think Tatum played. The latter Jay had one more at Charlotte versus Minnesota and at Brooklyn. Also for field goal attempts, Brown had 3 games with more than 25 attempts, 29, 29, 26. The same 2 that I said before, plus at Portland. For what it's worth, the C's only won this one. On the other hand, Jason had 7 games with 25 plus field goal attempts, where the C's are 4-3 in that sample. Also, 3 cases previously told included only L at Charlotte, but surpassed 30 field goal attempts once versus Detroit in the comeback win after the California road games, I believe. If I'm being honest, I'm having difficult thought process about this matter, but I think the absence of that feeling for the game could impact in an off night for the remaining of the roster. For the end, I kind of hate myself for saying it, but hypothetically, if some of the 21 shots, KP and Drew were relocated towards JT and JB, let's say 9 of them, 5 for Jason, 4 for Jalen, I would bet that the Celtics would have a better chance yesterday. I know it's not direct math, but explore this possibility. My point is said to deviate from this mindset I had, I would say for me and the Celtics too, quote, don't stop thinking about tomorrow. It'll soon be here. It'll be better than before in Yesterday's Gone, as Christine McVie once wrote and Bill Clinton said during his presidential campaign. I hope you'd like the song, and if you don't, if you know, and if you don't, I truly recommend if you're interested. Now, I think this is longer than already needed, so greetings, thanks for the content to sharing that PTSD that lie in all of us, Celtics fans, and Celtics in 5. Respectfully, Lucas. Thanks, Lucas, for the email.
Thanks,
what a
Lucas.
legend. Appreciate you for tuning in. I think in general, let me know if you disagree. I don't think like they should try to force more shots to the Jays, but I do understand the idea of wanting them to get more looks in a game where no one else has it. But at the same time, you got to trust your guys. Like, you got to trust that Porzingis will snap out. You got to trust that Drew Holiday will make plays, and you got to trust that Derek White will make plays. They didn't in game 2, but you got to trust them because they've done it all season. So I get the wanting for that because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were really the only guys that had it in game 2, but I don't know if you should deviate from what's worked for all season because of one tough loss.
Yeah, the thing that's funny about this is in the regular season, when I watched Tatum throw the ball off the back of the rim with the game on the line, I'm like, hey, they have all these weapons. Maybe they should use them. But at the same time, like, I do kind of see Lucas's point where it's like, oh, they have it going today. You should use them. And when you really think about it, it's one and the same. What we're calling for in the regular season when Tatum misses the game winner, it's like, well, whoever it may have been that day, Derek White had it going. Well, maybe Derek White gets a play drawn up for him where he's getting a 3-point look, or Porzingis gets the ball on the post and makes the defense sweat. But at the same time, I think if you're taking away shots from those guys throughout the game, you're also making it easier on the defense. It's the same as where Tatum takes these dumbass threes that make me want to put my head in the microwave, but you say he has to take them because the defense has to be kept honest. And I don't think it's the same level as Kristaps Porzingis should get free throw line jump shots, or Derek White should take threes, or Drew Holiday should take threes, as Tatum taking very difficult shots. The former should be an easier thing to swallow. But I do understand, and like you say, like, if they're all missing, you of course want to see whoever's making the shots get more shots.
Mm-hmm. I also think for Porzingis, to go back there for a sec, I think of everybody, he's struggled a lot with the post All-Star break whistle because a lot of the fouls he was getting early in the season, he's just not getting anymore. And that's not his fault. That's not a team fault. That is you got to adjust and be better. And
it is
more importantly, you got to
Silver
hit
saw
them.
the Celtics were climbing towards the title, and he was like, change the rules.
You got to be more physical, though, because of that. You got to adjust your level of physicality to match everybody else's that's not calling it. But yeah. Next thing. Okay. I was going to cough, but it went away. From Nate Bach. Shout out Nate Bach. Nate Boss.
Hey.
Bill Mazzulla is doing irreparable damage to the Celtics versus Heat game 2. This is a angry coaching video. What's poppin', Sam and Jack? Crappy losses to Heat. If there is a way to mess around and lose to the Heat, I'm afraid the Seas will find a way. My PTSD from past seasons came screaming back just when I had convinced myself this team was different. Now I have to worry for 3 days that Jimmy will somehow miraculously be back better than ever. Do you see his Instagram post, Sam?
Yeah, I did. I think we talked about this. I wish the Celtics would see that and get motivated.
Maybe they do. If anybody, Jaylen Brown will, because it was his.
I feel like they always just
Jaylen
get shit talked and then don't do anything about it.
I feel like
I'm not saying fight somebody.
I know. I feel like they just like
go
to
out win by
focus on
25.
themselves. They just like focus on themselves. I think it's just who they are. Nate continuing, that double magic they used on Caleb Martin last year will make Jimmy all better. I'm in a downward spiral. On a different note, not sure if you saw this yet, the guy from the Awful Coaching YouTube channel might explode from breaking down the game. You should get him to come on the podcast during the off season. We should get him to come on the podcast during the off season. He's very funny. I haven't watched this yet though, because I've watched the clips a million times already. So I don't know if I need to see another guy do the same thing I've done for the past 2 days.
It'll be validation. Yes, you'll be like, yes, right. I know ball. I know ball.
I don't need validation. I know I'm correct.
Yeah. Good
Last
answer.
one.
Good answer.
What's poppin'? 5 quarters, all the same from RJ. Morning, guys. Watching the Thursday morning recap. Have some numbers. Game 1, fourth quarter, 7 of 9 from 3. Game 2, first quarter, 8 of 15 from 3. Game 2, second quarter, 5 of 9 from 3. Game 2, quarter 3, 6 of 9 from 3. Game 2, fourth quarter, 4 of 9 from 3. That's the Heat's performance on threes over the last 5 quarters. At what point do we say the Celtics are aiding and abetting Miami shooting? Are the Celtics playing Warriors Draymond defense on every Heat player? This isn't any sort of Heat magic or Celtics uniform crap. It's simply the players and coaching staff spending Wednesday essentially vacationing in Aruba. Be well, RJ. Also, retire the fadeaway jumper against the weaker defender mid-range. Speaking my language, RJ. You heard me yell too many times. But
if Tyler Hero's on you, please just hurt him.
Go through his chest.
And make him regret guarding you.
I will say, saying what I just said, I do think part of it is They know they're not going to get a whistle if they go to the paint, and that'll probably bring another Heat defender by the time they get to the rim. You just still got to try because mid ranges are horrendous. So
We know what's great about when they bring a second defender is somebody's open. And your
It's true.
team is so good that you have 5 guys that can score the ball no matter
but
what.
the Heat also did a really good job of sending an extra defender and then recovering that whole game. They just baited. There was one possession where I'll pull it up. This is an example. I remember exactly what happened in it. So I can show you exactly what the Heat did all game. It's just a matter of when in the game it was. Let's see. Right here. Here's exactly what the Heat did the entire game that prevented the Celtics from being effective in the same way they were in game 1, which is sending a double, Jason Tatum passing out of the double. This is what happened. Jason Tatum gets the ball top of the key by the 3-point arc. Jovic guarding him. Caleb Martin stunts, gets the pass over to him, or I guess beforehand, gets over to Tatum, gets back, gets over to Tatum. By the time Tatum makes the pass, Hero is already there, and Bam Adebayo is already rotating over. It is stunting, recovering, and then rotating. And they did it the whole game.
Do we think
the whole game?
This is a very tight nitpick here, but if you replay that, do we think Porzingis should be cutting?
Do we think Porzingis should be cutting? Let's take a look. Let's see. Porzingis should he be cutting? So Porzingis, for the audio listeners, is in the dunker spot. Tatum kicks it to Derek White in the wing. Maybe, but there was a very small window because Jaime Jaquez, before Jalen even has the ball, is already going over to Porzingis. So if you want to nitpick, Jalen should really try to make a very, very difficult cross-course pass to Holiday, or better yet, pump fake and drive on Bam, and go baseline, because Bam is shading his left shoulder rather than his right shoulder. So if Jalen pump fakes here, he has baseline, and from there, Jaquez and Caleb Martin will probably collapse, and you'll either have Drew for a 3 or Porzingis here. Again, though, 6 seconds on the shot clock, so you had to do something quick. So just good defense by the Heat, and the Celtics did move fast enough, and it gets cut off in the clip, but for what it's worth, the first 10 seconds of possession are Tatum sitting here waiting for the double, because Caleb Martin stunts and then recovers back to Derek White. Stunts, gets back, stunts, get back, over and over and over again.
Because I joked about this leading up to the game. I was like, it would be a little bit funny if Tatum was just sitting there being like, you going to double me? Go ahead. I think I said on the roundtable, I was like, go ahead. Come on, send the guy. And then they just don't, and he doesn't know what to do.
And it's exactly what Joe said. They did it, but they did it so to delay the Celtics so much in the shot clock that the Celtics rush stuff. So they just got to be better, man. All right. Should we talk about the rest of the playoffs, Sam? Let's go.
Yeah, I've had enough of talking about this shit team until they earn my respect back.
Let's start with what I have dubbed now, which I'm going to stick with Magic Kajic take game 3. First one at home. I got to stop with that bit. With Nikola Vucevic in attendance. Do you see that?
No.
Vuce was sitting courtside, dapping up the Magic players. Bulls fans.
You and Bobby thought I was a little crazy for saying, what if Smart shows up to a playoff game? A little different.
But I can't imagine. Yeah, a little different. As in, the Magic and the Bulls have now won the same amount of playoff games since that trade happened. But oh man, Bulls suck. Anyways, Magic just completely destroy the Cavs in this game. After what do you say?
Is that a record in the playoffs?
Was it 40?
I think I saw somebody say it was
38.
a record defeat.
38.
The Celtics lost the Cavs in 2017 pretty bad in the conference finals.
Let's see. Biggest margin of victory in playoff game NBA history. Stat Muse, hit me. Let's see. Biggest margin of victory in a playoff game. Nope. Single game in a single, not all time. Please. Single playoff game in NBA history. Okay, this is useless.
How the fuck do they not know what you're talking about?
They're giving me all time, the Lakers have outscored opponents by 1.8 thousand points. This is horrendous. Okay, what are we doing?
Let's see. Twitter, Cavs, Magic, score
most points won by a team in a single playoff game. I don't even know how to search this. Actually, I can go on StatHead. I'll find it. But yeah,
I'm sorry. I swear to God, I saw somebody say it was the biggest.
I think I can find this on StatHead. The point is, after 2 straight games of not being able to score any points, the Magic scored all the points. 121, shot 50% from the field, 35% from 3. Paolo Banchero had 31, figured it out. Jalen Suggs had 24, figured it out. Jalen Suggs had been fucking terrible, and he figured it out. And the Magic won a game. So good for the Magic. So they're back. Home crowd boost.
Do we think Orlando hasn't been in the playoffs in a really long time and might have forgot that it's not like the in-season tournament where you get point differential, because they saved up all their points for this game instead of trying to win more games.
I truly think this is just a huge young team needs the home crowd boost. Like,
You really
I
don't think
it's
that they thought they should save up all their points, Jack? Going out and
no,
sticking your neck out, huh?
I don't think so. Maybe that's a hot take, but I don't think they did that.
No, I mean, this is a tradition in the NBA where a young team makes the playoffs for the first time, then they play in front of their home fans and they get juiced up. You kind of seen it a little bit in Celtics history, just thinking back to 2008, like Atlanta gave them a really tough series and only played well in Atlanta. Anytime that you're going to get a young team out there with home fans, they will come to play. Guarantee.
Definitely. I still can't fucking find this like margin of victory thing. I have no idea where it is. I'm getting pissed. But
good news for all of us is it looks like we might have a series. Might have a series on our hands, and
Would be
that'll
very
be the second
fun.
round opponent. Should the Celtics get their head out of their ass enough to climb out of the first round, they would play the winner of Mavs Magic.
Thank you. I was confused. I didn't know what you're talking about there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, finally. I think I found it. Landofbasketball.com. 58 is the record.
Was Celtics?
No, 121-63 in 2008, 2009. Nuggets Hornets.
Oof.
Oof is correct. Yeah, that's not even close to the most.
Numbers.
Yeah. What's the Celtics? Are they involved in any of these? Yeah, 94-95. The Magic beat the Celtics by 47 points in the first round of the playoffs.
That series went what, 4 games or 5?
I'm not sure. You're asking me.
Don't dive into the rabbit hole. I think it was 4. It's not that important.
The game you're thinking about is 2016-17. Cavs beat the Celtics by 44, 130-86. Wait, 130. That's 54, right? No.
What is it?
44. 130-86. It's 44. I did math wrong. That's the Cavs game you're thinking of. But yeah,
that was
Magic are
where
back.
Isaiah officially went out.
Magic are back though, baby. Magic are here. Series is happening. I didn't get a chance to watch this game super closely, but the Cavs just kind of shot like shit. That's about it. That's what happened. 39% of the field, 23 from 3. You're not going to win that game.
Game 4, as you're listening to this today, 1 p.m. They will play Game 4 before the Celtics play Game 3.
You bet your ass, though. You bet your ass that if the Celtics end up playing one of those teams, they're going to make all the threes. You bet your ass. They're going to get their head out of their ass and start.
Yeah, Orlando's 0 of 17 guard trio will make all the shots. They'll go 17 of 17. Joe's going
to trust the math that he saw yesterday, and it's going to be like, nah, today we're different, man.
Markelle Fultz is going to become a sniper.
So cooked. All right. Next game, Suns Wolves. Are the Suns finished? Thoughts?
We're going to find out tonight. So you guys are hearing this after knowing the verdict of Game 3 in Phoenix. We are recording this at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So we only know the results of Pacers Milwaukee, and probably could be like, we think this is going to happen in Mavs-Clippers. But we truly have no idea how Phoenix is going to handle playing at home. If I had to guess, I think Minnesota will win. I think Phoenix is just only 2 guys, and the rest of the team kind of sucks. Yep. That's what happens when you go all in for Bradley Beal. You just sacrifice all your depth and can't compete at a high level. And also, don't commit to math.
It's true. I saw this tweet, and the caption is every Eric Gordon possession. Let me find you. The average Eric Gordon possession.
Cam retweeted this. It was like the Chinese school of teaching kids to play basketball, and they're all just doing like between the legs.
This is one of my new favorite clips ever. Just the synchronization. I was crying. I was watching that, just dying. Yeah, but the real key to that series, Sam, is Jaden fucking McDaniels is killing.
Jaden McDaniels is playing as if he's playing against the Celtics. I can't believe this is happening to a team that's not the Celtics.
And played like shit in Game 2, and they still won.
And they still won by a lot.
Yikes, man! The Suns, excuse me, Jesus Christ. The Suns, no math, not much defense. Can't score the ball because they're taking a bunch of twos. Not great.
They're failing fucking algebra.
Yeah. Do you see what Ant said before the series? He's like, "Are you worried about having to go up against KD?" He goes, "No, we have Jaden McDaniels." It's like, no,
I think that was I think that was like when the trade happened. Maybe I'm wrong.
Who cares? Maybe it was. He said it at some point, and it's very true. Also, the pictures. This is from game one, but the pictures of Ant just laughing in KD's face are so sick. They're so fun, and him just
And
like laughing
Katie's like
back.
enjoying the moment because he is a psychopath and really just loves basketball more than anything.
Yeah, he's just nothing else to do but laugh back. It's electric. All right, next one, Sixers Suns. I watched this entire game in the Knicks film school
Sixers,
playback.
Knicks,
What did I say?
Suns. Too many teams for Jack.
There's too much shit. Sixers Knicks. I watched this with our good friend Andrew Claudio in the Knicks film
Did
school.
you go on?
No. I just watched it in the room. The Sixers
I'm sure that
won.
was a joy.
The Sixers won, and they deserved to win because of they had a monster third quarter where Campaign and Embiid made all the threes, and they made tough shots. Embiid not getting ejected in that game is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. Like literally any other game, any other player, that man is gone. That is like a genuinely dangerous play. The definition of a flagrant 2 is like unnecessary and excessive. On the fucking replay, they literally go, it was unnecessary and excessive, flagrant 1. And everyone was like, that's not what that means. Hey guys, like you said the thing, but then you said like that's the most obscene thing. Embiid, this was embarrassing, dirty, and like if Draymond did this, he'd be suspended for the season. Like this was so bad, and even you, somebody actively rooting for the Sixers to beat the Knicks, and who loves to like poke shit at me for what I'm taking stuff, like even you agree. I think that like that was obscene what he was doing. Like if that was against the Celtics, God forbid.
Yeah, well, obviously anything against Celtics is times 10. So I was not watching this game. I was out. And I did see your tweet go up when you were like, I can't believe he didn't get ejected or whatever. So, like, I did have an expectation going into seeing the clip that it was going to be an unbelievable thing. I'm going to say this. It was definitely a flagrant. I only saw the play in slow motion. So, is it that dangerous to grab him from jumping?
Yeah. Are you kidding?
Well, because it could hurt his ligaments.
One, Mitchell Robinson had surgery on his ankle like 2 months ago. I know that's irrelevant to the play, but like that's an added detail that Knicks fans got mad about. Because it's like, dude, he just got that fixed and he's gonna fuck it up. 2, if you're jumping, like somebody's midair and you're grabbing their legs and like controlling where they land, like that person's just gonna fall like this. Like all of their momentum is gonna go towards their head and their back and their upper body just going straight towards the floor. Yes, and then on his fall, Embiid pushed him as he was falling down.
I remember the push. Did you hear Embiid's defense of this?
Yeah, I didn't want to get landed on.
Yes.
You want to know my response? Move, roll, get out, like move, roll out of the way, buddy. Don't grab the player and make him get hurt. Like Mitchell Robinson was after the game after like trying to get back on the court.
I heard it wasn't that. I didn't watch the game, but I heard Embiid, that he hurt himself at a different point of the game.
Embiid also kicked him in the nuts, so he didn't help. Like
yeah,
intentionally,
he left the game with like a foot thing.
Yeah, he hurt his foot on that play though, and then it carried over and it got worse throughout the game. Like he was limping right after that play. He tried to come back, and then I'm pretty sure it like all stemmed from that. But like, there's a clip, and I retweeted.
That's probably a flagrant too.
You got to be gone. Like you got to be gone. And
just so you know,
the fact that he kept like Joel Embiid continued to be dirty throughout the game. Like this wasn't just like, oh, this one thing, he should have been gone. This was he continuously did like dirty shit throughout the game.
Somebody said Joel Embiid put together Draymond Green's career mixtape in one game.
Yep, watch this. Ready? Joel Embiid posting up Mitchell Robinson, shoots it, kicks his leg out as normal, and then you can see him follow through. Like you can see where his natural shooting motion ends and his follow through continues. Ready? Natural shooting motion there. All right, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay,
you can see where it stops and keeps going.
This is just as bad. I don't think he's actively trying to kick him in the nuts. He's actively trying to flop, and because he's trying to flop and flail around, he becomes a danger to everybody else around him.
Yep, like his natural shooting motion ended, and then he started doing extra shit, and he kicked him in the nuts. That can't happen. Next one, a few plays after the other one that we saw where he grabbed Mitchell Robinson's legs. Well, this is just him.
That's just him like doing anything he can to try and get a foul call.
This was a few plays after they gave him a flagrant 1. He just goes down the floor and just like elbows Isaiah Hartenstein in the back, in the back. Like he goes through the screen and then just throws an elbow in the back of Isaiah Hartenstein. Like they called this a foul on Isaiah Hartenstein at first, and then the Knicks had to challenge it and get it overturned. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's just throwing a tantrum actively on the court and trying to hurt people. Like, what are we doing? And this is the play that we've been talking about. Like,
okay, let's see.
Again, I say, Sam, roll out of the way. I'm gonna land on you. Get the fuck out of the way or get up.
For me. Oh, here we go.
Like, and then he pushes him. Like,
yeah,
he is giving Mitchell Robinson no. If we're gonna give out flagrants for landing space fouls, buddy, you didn't like. There is no landing space. You grabbed his feet, tied him up, and threw him to the ground. This is the definition of dangerous. You grabbed him by the knee and then pushed him when he was about to land. He caused him to land on him. This wasn't like he wouldn't have landed on him had he just let Mitchell Robinson make the dunk. Look, he goes up. Mitchell Robinson was going to go forward, and he wasn't even close to landing on him. He pulled him onto him and then pushed him down.
How did Embiid end up on the floor there? Did he flop?
Yes! I'm going to find it. He tried to go up, and he got stripped by OG. Or no, OG like gave him one of the bodies in the paint, and Embiid tried to flop and saw the call. I'm going to find it.
Yeah, I feel bad I missed this game. I really have been enjoying this series a lot, which I think
it was an awesome game for what it's worth. And it was ruined because the refs were terrible in this game too. They were giving nothing to either team, and I get the physical, but like it went beyond that in this game. So it was nuts. But it was a good game, and Philly earned it in the third quarter. But like Embiid, I've said this multiple times. It is embarrassing that he wasn't ejected from this game. Like this is the shit.
50 points that they could have been without if he got
ejected. Yeah, this is the shit that convinces people the NBA is rigged. Genuinely, like how do you not eject? If this was any other player besides Embiid or Jalen Brunson, they're gone. They're out of the game, tossed.
You mean
without question? Game? Yes, without question. And if this was the regular season, he'd be gone. If this was the regular season, Embiid would have been ejected. 100%.
Yeah, but the NBA, I mean, you could say any star player wouldn't be ejected except for Draymond.
Yeah, and that's a problem. Like anybody who does this should have been ejected. This like you can't be like what's the word? Subjective based on who the fucking player is. This is a dangerous play. Mitchell Robinson could have gotten hurt and did get hurt from this play. And you let him stay in the game because he's a star player. And he was fucking whining the whole time. Like he should have gotten 6. If you'd watched the game too, this wasn't just like he should have been ejected. He should have gotten like 7 different texts in this game. Like he was actively in officials' faces, yelling at them like snap, like all the shit. Like this is Tatum gets thrown out of the game levels of bullshit that Embiid got away with in the game.
I love how fired up you are. The best part about this game, 1, the Sixers won, which is excellent. 2, Embiid had 50 points and nobody's talking about Embiid had 50 points. 3, Woj comes out after the game and is like, hey, everybody, Embiid didn't want anybody to know this, but he's been dealing with Bell's palsy, and he kept it a secret because he didn't want anybody to know about it. But guess what? I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah, that's really bad for Woj. The only acceptable thing is if like Embiid cleared it with him first, but I don't think that happened. Also, here we go. This is what happened. This is how Embiid ended on the ground, Sam. Let's see. Oh, no, he hit me. Dude, come on, man. Like OG's not doing that to you, brother. Come on. Come on, man. In real time, it's even worse. In real time, it's even worse than the slow-mo.
Yeah, it looks way worse in real time. That's why I was curious, because I hadn't seen it in real time. I only saw the slow motion replay. Yeah, that's kind of bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen that.
You got to go. Like I got so mad in the moment, and I'm still really mad because like if this is the regular season, and I'm not exaggerating, he gets ejected and probably suspended. Like that is on par with Draymond stomping on somebody's fucking chest. You're grabbing a guy mid-air and flinging them to the ground. That is so fucking dangerous.
I'll say this about Draymond. At least he's a little funny about it. Like the stomp is one of my favorite plays of all time. This is nothing. I mean, it's not even fun to watch. The stomp, at least you're like, holy fuck, he just stomped on Sabonis. This is just like, wow, that was like really lame, and he was only on the ground because he flopped. Like Draymond was asserting his dominance, and he said the same shit as Embiid did too. After the fact, he was like, "Wow, I was protecting myself." And for what it's worth, the thing that Draymond said Sabonis was doing to him, which he kind of was what Embiid did to Mitchell Robinson.
It's insane, man. It's unacceptable. Like this is, like I said, if it's the regular season, he gets suspended. You can't do that. And then to continue being dirty and crying is another thing. Again, Embiid was fucking awesome in this game. He was so good. He was a great shot maker. He came up huge for his team. Campaign made some big buckets, which is annoying because he's like has the ugliest jump shot in the NBA, but he was great.
I'd
Like
be
credit
heated if
to
he was making shots against the Celtics.
credit to Embiid for the way he played, but he shouldn't have been in the game because this was like you can't happen. Like I said, I truly mean this, and I know you're gonna laugh because the word is funny. It sounds dramatic. It's an embarrassment that the NBA did not like that is why people question whether or not shit's rigged. Like that it can't happen. Like that's horrendous. Like horrible. Absolutely.
I don't know. It's weird because
No.
the rigged thing I don't know if I buy because I don't think
I'm not saying it is rigged, but I'm saying that's the reason why people think it's rigged.
Yeah, but the way you laid it out is it's kind of fair for every team. Like if your star does what Embiid did, they're probably not going to get ejected.
Yeah, but then the other team, like if Jason Tatum did this and he didn't get ejected, Miami fans are gonna be saying the same shit. Like it is a reason why people say it is.
I'm gonna say this about this series going forward is as much as you're saying Embiid got away with this, he's gonna pay. Like
yeah, they're gonna kick
the officials are gonna be like no nonsense for Embiid. He's probably gonna miss out on some of his free throw points.
No, I disagree. Their grievance worked. He got all the calls in this game for what it's worth. Like the Sixers,
but he literally. This is essentially like a counter grievance.
I guess. I don't know. I just thought it was awful. Like
it feels like a spot where they're. I don't want to say they're going to get shafted, but they're not going to get the benefit of the doubt, as they should.
They shouldn't. That was awful.
Like as much as this did not bite them in Game 3, it's going to cost them in Games 4, 5.
It should,
and so on.
It should. Anyways, next game: Nuggets, Lakers. Lakers are so done. Like another game where they had
it's just basketball. And at the end of the day, it's just basketball.
What is that? I'm not familiar with that.
LeBron said that in the press conference after they lost.
With what context? Like what?
I don't know. I saw the clip. I think they were like, "What do you think?" He's like, "Just basketball, whatever."
That's basically him saying, "Yeah, they're just fucking better than us," which they are. Like
we just
as
never
much as
beat
it
Denver, 11 straight.
Yeah, as much as it's fun to like coffin meme on the Lakers, which it absolutely is.
Rest in piss.
The Nuggets are just a better basketball team, point blank. Period. Like they're just better. Like they're the best team in the league, and you're not going to win many games if you're tumbling like the Lakers have. And the Lakers have been in all these games. It's like last year, most competitive sweep ever. It's just too bad.
They were up.
Doesn't matter.
20 in Game 2 and what 12, 15 yesterday.
I think they've had a double-digit lead in every game. Maybe something like that.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Too bad.
Sounds like another team I know hates double-digit leads. Good. Glad they're losing. It's fantastic. Good for the vibes. D'Angelo Russell 0 points. There was a clip of him not even in the huddle late in the game.
He took a crazy 3 late in that Game 3. It was really bad. I don't know if you saw it. It was.
I didn't see it.
I
didn't see a look at this game. I went to bed early, woke up early, and I got home today. My dad was like, "Same thing happened in Game 3." I was like, "They had a lead in that game." Everything I saw when I woke up today was like they got cooked. He was like, "Yeah, no, they were up like 15 points.
They were up by 12. Yeah, crazy."
Hate to see it.
This was worse than a Tatum Chuck 3. This was like.
All right, let's see.
Let me pull it up. For what? Also, context. D'Angelo Russell, 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. He couldn't do anything in this game.
I can't wait for this.
I need to find it. Hopefully, I'm thinking.
Just pull up all the D'Angelo Russell misses.
Is this game 2 or 3? Is this game
3?
2? Hopefully, I'm not. No. I'm like I meant the one that I clicked on. I'm hoping I'm not thinking of the wrong thing.
Let's just look at all the
misses. Yeah, here it is. So context here for audio listeners: 5 minutes to go in this game. Excuse me. The Lakers are down by 10 points. They just got to stop. You need if you're gonna start a run, this is when it needs to happen.
What do I always say, Jack?
Yeah. Wee.
Read the room, brother.
And it wasn't just D'Lo at this point. Like if I pull up their shot chart, it is just go,
Everybody.
pull up 3, pull up 3. Like that's all they were doing.
Right here, 3. It's Michael Scott.
Yeah, look at this. He just
Watch
fakes it.
this.
Like the best part about this clip is if he had just waited for LeBron, like KCP was so far behind this play, like LeBron could have absolutely gone around here, drawn two, and then Anthony Davis would have been coming down the lane, or Rui Hachimura was gonna be open the corner, and Jones is like, nah, it's D'Lo time, baby. Look at this.
And he
guy.
wasn't open.
Look
Like,
at
he
head and
wasn't even
hands.
open.
Watch this guy at the top of the screen right here.
Hand on head.
Ready? Yeah, up here, right here, about to stand up. He goes, oh yeah, oh no. Yeah, the Lakers are cooked, man. They had so many chances. Like, the Nuggets were like goading them, like, oh look, we're gonna miss some shots. Like they missed some easy looks. Like Jokic missed a floater, he doesn't miss floaters, and then three.
The Nuggets are just having fun.
Yeah, the Nuggets are. Yeah.
That's what the Celtics should be doing, but can't.
Yeah, Lakers are done. Next game, Mavs Clippers. I was about to say Cavs. Mippers. I don't know. That game is happening right now as we're recording this, so we're not going to know the exact outcome. However, at the time this is going on, the Mavs are up 12 in the third quarter. Luka Doncic has 19, 8, and 7. Not shooting particularly well, but it doesn't matter because he's diming up. And David Gafford's 3 of 4. PJ Washington's 4 of 8. Kyrie's kind of sucking right now, so this is really bad. The Clippers are losing, but yeah.
Did you see Luka like just driving to the game? Someone was like,
no,
yeah, I just drove past Luka. I'll send you the video. He's like on the freeway, or not on the freeway, but he's at like a red light, and he's got this insane fucking car. He's like, imagine just randomly driving by Luka, and you just see him. And the best part of this, when this video came on my timeline, they had just showed Luka walking into the arena, and you can see that he has like his tuxedo vest and shirt on, but he doesn't have the jacket on. And when he walks in, he's got the jacket on.
This rocks. This is a really cool car. It's like purple, like gradient with 77 on the side with the Jordan logo and the Luka Doncic logo. Like it's a very fun car.
I'm pretty sure this is a big marketing ploy, but it's still kind of hilarious.
It is cool. It is funny to see him
there.
It is funny to see Luka Doncic in bumper to bumper traffic on the way.
Yeah, it's like you know where he's headed.
Oh man! If I'm the car in front of him, I'm just not moving and letting everyone take. Just like
no. If I'm the car in front of him, I'm like, buddy, get to the arena so you can warm up.
Now now Clippers fans need to see this. Get in their cars at the right time and just sit in traffic. Just not move.
All 6 diehard Clippers fans go to Dallas.
But yeah, that game's happening now. Clippers. How are the Clippers losing this game? Like I'm looking at the box score. I haven't been able to watch because we've been recording, obviously, but like
I should low-key throw it on the side TV.
The Mavs have more threes. It's just the Mavs, or excuse me, the Clippers have more threes. It's just the Mavs are making most of their second chance points, I assume. They just have 26 makes to the Clippers 19, even though the Clippers are shooting better from 3. It's a weird game. I need to watch the end after this, obviously, but we're recording now. More Zuel Cinder, apparently. He's got 14 on 6 and 9. But I guess the Mavs are living with that. Yeah, I don't know. All right, next one, Pacers Bucks. The one probably a lot of you have been waiting for. What a fucking game. Sam and I watched all of this game. Some of it watched more closely than the rest because I was doing some work during it, but this was perhaps the game of playoffs so far. This was awesome. This was a really fun basketball game.
I feel like game 2, Knicks, Sixers, game of playoffs.
Yeah, that one. I don't know. OT in this one. The crazy shots.
Lakers Nuggets game 2.
Nah, because everyone knew they didn't have a chance in that one. Let's be honest. Like everyone kind of knew, like, oh, look at the fun little brother. It's like when you let it's like when you let, like when I let Henry get up like 6'9" just so I could beat him and like have a buzzer beater at the end of the game. Like that's what Nuggets are as Clippers. Like I would like, I wanted to have the clutch team. Like it's like Joe saying like, oh, let's get in more close games to have fun. Yeah. That's what this was to the Nuggets. But yeah, Pacers Bucks, dude. Holy shit, Khris Middleton with flashbacks to 2018 Celtics series first round. Tyrese Halliburton with the huge game, the huge and one at the end of the game. Aaron Nesmith with a bucket late in the fourth quarter, and then
the fucking winner, and then
and then Khris Middleton, and then I'm sorry, I need to Google this. 1 second. Let me do a little bit of research here before I speak.
Khris Middleton, by the way, 42 points.
6'3" Andrew Nembhard just getting all the offensive rebounds for the Pacers. Like, and I know the Pacers, I don't think they actually capitalized on the possession where he had like 3 offensive rebounds.
They had a possession with like 6 offensive rebounds, and they kept fucking missing.
But they also like the Bucks just didn't get a chance to score in like 5 minutes. So it was huge for the Pacers. But yeah, man, what a game. Shout out the Pacers. This year's fun. Pacers fans were fucking active in this game. And also, we didn't talk about it in Knicks Sixers. Philly, all Knicks fans. Like there was let's go Knicks chance the whole fucking game.
Ugh. That's what happens when your team goes down 0-2 and does it like with a whimper where they shit the bed in game 2. If they won game 2, I bet that place is rocking because Philly has good fans.
But it's also because New York is so close. They had like fan buses going from New York. Like they organized shit to like go fuck it up. And it was like I was listening to the Knicks film school room, and we'll get back to Pacers Bucks in a sec. But like it was cheaper to take a bus and buy a ticket to Philly than get one ticket for MSG. Like it was cheaper to go to the away game for those people, which is crazy. So yeah. Pacers Bucks though, good game.
It's a great game. It had everything. We didn't do it justice just yet, so I'll kind of go through. Pacers come out just like a young team does at home. Red hot start. They go up like 18 points in the first half. Dame drives for a layup, falls down, grabs his knee, thought his season was over. He doesn't get up. Indiana goes and gets a dunk. Bucks bang a timeout. Then he hobbles off, goes back to the locker room. 10 minutes later, he's back out. Plays pretty poorly for the first half. Comes out, plays better in the second half. Has a nice hot stretch. I think he had 12, 14 second half points. But then he kind of fell out of the game again. And Doc spoke to reporters after the game, and here is what he had to say. He told Eric Nem of The Athletic that I think it's his Achilles again. In the overtime, he literally said, "I'll be the decoy. I just can't go as far as Explosion." So Dame might actually be hurt. It didn't look pretty when he went down. But regardless of the injury, we still got ourselves an absolute banger of a game. Indiana coughed up the lead. Milwaukee comes all the way back to take a fourth quarter lead after being down 18, 20 points.
Middleton masterclass. Yeah, Middleton just made all the shots. Like this is the game you need from Middleton if the Bucks want to go far in the playoffs, except you need the other 2 injured players as well and this Middleton. And it's just Giannis is hurt and Dame is now maybe hurt. Like everything that could have gone wrong for the Bucks this season has gone wrong for the Bucks. And like from an outsider's perspective, or like if we were completely unbiased and weren't like actively hoping for a deep Celtics run, like you do feel like bad a little, like, but then at the same time, it's like you kind of did a lot of it to yourself. So you don't feel all the way bad.
Just like karma from like all different sides. There's like the Dame karma where he held the league hostage last summer and was a diva and then said, I only want to play for Miami, and then got traded to pretty much the opposite, and then essentially caused Milwaukee to give up Holiday and then put him on the Celtics. And now, I mean, the Giannis thing, I don't really feel like there's Giannis karma for what it's worth, unless you want to be like he got 2 coaches fired in the last year.
Yeah.
You want. But overall, I think Giannis is okay, but not physically. He's definitely injured.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a fun series, if nothing else.
Fun series. Got some good Neesmith today. He was playing excellent defense on
Shout out
Middleton.
Neesmith,
He was
man.
a freak.
And
he made big free throws. And, of course, like we mentioned,
big 3.
Pacers, Bucks, 115 apiece. Catch, shoot, 3 in the corner, drills it. Then Middleton made another prayer.
That was a great possession by the Pacers, too. Like, they had it with Tyrese. They doubled him. They had it to Siakam, and they forced, because the guy doubled Tyrese already from the wing, they had to bring in help from the corner because the Pacers don't allow, or excuse me, the Bucks pack the paint, and it's just late in the shot clock, too. Like, Neesmith needed that shot, and it went down. So,
I was so happy for Neesmith.
Shout out Neesmith, man.
I don't get happy for anybody.
I like the Pacers. Pacers are really fun. They were one of our teams in the preseason, too. So, like, we were hyped that they're doing good.
Enjoy liking them for now.
It's true. Well, I'll like them next series too. Respectfully, I was on my Knicks shit this series, but next series, if it's the Pacers, sorry, New York, I'm jumping ship.
Might be Philly. There's still ball to be played.
It's true. Regardless, I'm pro Pacers. Like it doesn't matter. It don't matter. All right, last one. Thunder-Pelicans. There isn't too much to discuss here. It's just
we didn't get to do game 2 last time, so we can quickly be like Thunder
killed
kicked
them.
the shit out of the
Yeah,
Pelicans.
the Thunder said, "Oh,
Game
Pelicans made a
3
really fun run,"
tonight.
but-
Oh, not tonight. It's tomorrow.
No, tomorrow.
They're on the same
Same night.
fucking shitty schedule as the Celtics, where they just
There's
never play.
one. I was listening to front office show before the schedule, or like very beginning of the playoffs, and they're like once every year or one series in the first round every year is really awkwardly spaced out, and I can't remember the reason why they gave, but this year it's one from each side, and this year it's just the 1/8 on both sides, like Celtics-Heat and Pelicans Thunder, which is I assume for like TV planning purposes, but it's very annoying.
It's fucking
to
stupid.
look at. But yeah, the Pelicans just fucking stomped them. Like it wasn't close. It was 124-92.
Thunder
The
stomp.
Pelicans. Yeah, that's fuck. The Thunder stomped them.
Jack spreading misinformation with tired brain.
Brandon Ingram didn't do math. 5 of 10 from the field. Did not attempt a three. You're like, you want your cookies, buddy? You shot 50%. You didn't take a three. You lose the game. CJ McCollum 1 of 5 from 3. That's not going to do much. And then, I mean, the Thunder took 29 threes, but they made 14 of them. They had 7 more threes than the Pelicans. See ya. Like you lose. You're done.
Had your chance of game 1, missed it.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. 100%. All right, last thing.
Nothing
NBA.
to add on that.
Amazon and other I have the hiccup. Streaming people are looking to get rights. Cam tweeted about it. Excuse me. Oh my God, I have the hiccup so bad. So I want to pull up Cam's tweet. No, I just need to pull it up. So The Athletic put out an article today, detailing because the NBA is having a new TV deal coming in soon, and the piece that Cam tweeted, I'll share my screen so you guys can look at it while I read it. But it is. The advancement in the Amazon and ESPN talks leaves incumbent Warner Brothers Discovery, which owns TNT Sports, to face off with NBC, owned by Comcast, for the likely last package of games. Warner Brothers Discovery has the right to match deals, but NBC could try to restructure an agreement in a way that makes it difficult. Again, listening to front office show, the explanation is up to this point, the negotiations between the NBA and TV partners was exclusive to TNT and ESPN, the people that already had it, but recently it was opened up to anybody can get in on the action. And I think a lot of streaming platforms are trying to do with the NBA what the NFL did with Thursday Night Football, where it is on a streaming platform, which again, I'm stealing a lot of takes from the front office show just because I like that podcast. Keith Smith and Trevor Linder are awesome. But to their point, it's if you're going to do that, do it so one night a week is there so you don't have to leave that channel, because I don't want to have to go to different things. If you're going to do it, fine, but do it in a way that people can go to one spot every night or you know what I'm saying? That's how you got to do it. So
Rip League Pass. Not really.
I don't think it's Rip League Pass.
No, it's not. I'm just
definitely not. But yeah. Interesting. This is going to be very important. And NBC is apparently very in. They had it NBA for a while, but then
it's all fun and games until they put it on Peacock, and then they're like, "Hey, the playoffs are here. Get ready to pay."
I have Peacock. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, me too. They're gonna put the playoffs on pay-per-view.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna. That's the game, man. But they want that money.
Just little extra details from this. ESPN and ABC, as the website Puck reported Thursday, also has a framework of a deal with the expectations that they will keep the finals.
Who keeps finals? ESPN or TNT?
ESPN.
Fine with me. It's yeah, that works.
Mike Breen, fine with it.
Need it. No Brian Anderson is your take. Keep him away.
Fuck Brian Anderson.
All right, Ratless time, shall we?
Ratless time.
Would you like to kick it off?
Yeah, Ratlist, the guy on Reddit who raised the question whether or not every single person from Rhode Island could fit inside the Empire State Building all at once.
Well, could they?
The answer consensus was yes.
Really? Wait, really?
So apparently the Empire State Building has 2.7 million square feet with all the floors, and there's less than 1.1 million of us here. So if we all get 2 feet to ourselves, yes, we can all fit.
I don't think you could. I think that's not enough space for some people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you gave everyone 2 feet.
Yeah, well, not everyone is in the same shape.
I don't think they said
comfortably. Or even I. I guess. Well, yeah. I mean, you can fit a lot of people in a lot of spaces uncomfortably, but I'm talking about if you have everybody in the building like normally.
Well, even then, if you have, let's see, I'm gonna have to pull up the post now.
I guess children maybe like balance that out because you could fit like 2 kids in one
I didn't save the
larger
post,
human spot. Yeah,
but our like census count from the last census was like less than 1.1.
it's around 1.1. I just looked it up. It's
So
1.094. Yes.
if there is 2.7 million square feet and each person gets 2, then there is still
Oh,
300,000.
2.7.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Then. Yeah. Okay. I'll buy it then. Yeah. You could probably squeeze all in there.
Yeah. So we could all
Would
just
the
show
building
up one day.
collapse? Would the building collapse? Probably not. It'd probably sway a lot. It'd probably be scary. You'd probably fit in. Well, right? Like that.
Also, not
weight.
for nothing, Rhode Island is like not the least populated state. I think there are like several states that are less people than we are.
Wyoming, I think, is the least populated.
Wyoming, Montana,
state.
like all the nothing states.
Would you like to guess? What do you think?
Even
is the least
Alaska might
populated
have
state?
less people.
What do you think?
They're the
least
biggest
populated
one.
State is. Would you like to guess?
I think I'm going to say Montana.
Wyoming had
Was what?
584,000 people.
And then what?
Vermont, 647.
Really?
Yeah.
Bums. Fuck
You guys are
Vermont.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th to last. And do you know who you have more people than, Sam? Right below you, one below you. Delaware.
Alaska? Delaware.
Bums.
Oh.
That's a dub. Massachusetts 16th. What's number 1? Do you want to guess?
Number 1 population?
Mhm.
Oh, man.
38.96 mil.
38.96 million.
These are 2023 numbers, by the way, because this is the latest, earliest, whatever it is they have.
This is
since
tough.
on Wiki.
Knee jerk is California. Also think New York and maybe Texas.
You have 3 of the top 4.
And I did not have the top 1.
No, you do. No, you do. You do.
I do.
It's one of those.
I'm going to say California.
Yeah, 38.9 mil, and it clears it as 8.45 million more than Texas, which comes in at 2. And then Texas
What's number
has
4?
Florida is 3.
Florida.
Florida's 3. Yeah, but there's huge gaps. Like it's 38.9 for California, 30.5 for Texas, 22.6 for Florida, and 19.5 for New York. Pennsylvania is after that, and then it goes down.
They just pack them all in that one city, just like all of Rhode Island in the Empire State Building.
Yeah, most surprising top 10. North Carolina has a lot more people than I thought.
Really?
Yeah, North Carolina has 10.8 million at number 9.
Where the fuck are they?
That's what I'm saying. Like I get like, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio. I get because it's like they've got some big cities, but like I guess Charlotte. I guess college. I guess North Carolina's a big college.
I mean, even then, that's only like at most 40,000 people, and that's a lot.
You're wildly underestimating how many people go to those schools. Like I bet Duke has like 100,000 alone. And let me see.
I dumb?
Oh no, you're right. Wow, Duke is 17,000.
Yeah, I
Wait,
thought 20,000 was the number.
Most highest school population in. I think I'm dumb. Yeah. Wait, am I crazy? What's the highest school population?
University of Phoenix.
Okay, I'm not that crazy. Arizona State is 76,000. So there are some
There's
really,
a lot
really
of
big ones.
fucking kids.
Yeah.
Dude. Those kids are just running around fucking each other, dude. That's all they're doing. That place is a fucking petri dish.
And then once the baby pops out, they enroll at Arizona State, so their numbers get higher and higher. And higher.
They automatic accepted.
That's awesome. That was a fun rabbit hole. All right, my first rat list. Let me see. I wrote it down here. We've entered the part of the podcast where Sam gets to laugh at my truly genuine fear of flying because I really don't.
You're flying. You drove.
Fuck you! I could have drove 24 hours. Are you insane?
Well, this is where the fear is weighed because it is technically a would you rather, and you elect to fly. Not that I blame you.
It is.
I don't blame you.
It is wholly unrealistic to drive. Like you can't do it with how much work I have to do. With how much like I can't do it. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm trying not to think about it. We'll be on the plane. We'll be there no matter what. I have to leave my house at 4 a.m.
And you might be tired enough to sleep.
We'll see. Maybe. I've not gotten a lot of sleep the last few days.
You
Been
gonna watch
exhausted.
anything?
I'll probably download a
Work?
few things. Yeah, I'll probably do some work. I have
Watch
been.
sketch.
Yeah. Sketch show. What's up, brother? How are we doing?
You can
Yeah,
watch
Ratless
whatever he did
flying.
with Shane Gillis. I don't know what they did, but I'm sure it's entertaining.
Probably a podcast, but Ratless flying, man. I'm not a fan. Although I do anticipate some other Celtics people being on my flight. I know Bobby Manning, I think, is on my flight. So should be
Oh
interesting.
yeah, you gonna hang out?
I think so. Maybe. We'll see. I know
You need to like
Bobby
keep a bucket hat in
Kristaps-
your backpack so you can pull it out and be like, "What do you think?"
I know Bobby Kristaps flew out today, and he was like, "Yeah, I was getting on the plane. I saw Tsuichi Terada on my flight, who writes for Mass Live, and we were just like, oh, hey, what's up?" They didn't even see each other at the gate. They just on the flight, and he was like, "Oh, hello." But yeah, we'll be there no matter what.
Excellent work. Excellent work.
Mhm.
Been a rat list. Rat list MLB the show, man. I've been slacking. Rough day today.
He's like
My
losing,
internet.
or
Yeah, so well, it's a partial rat list. My internet. I lagged out of a game.
yeah.
I was in the first inning. I was putting together a nice inning. I had two guys on base, and I was about to fucking knock them in. And then all of a sudden, I'm not in the game anymore. The fuck? And then I was tilted, and I lost, I think, 2 games. Not good. I was
Very tough.
pissed. Fuck this Wi-Fi. It got so bad I couldn't watch games live. It's a fucking bargaining system with this. So I have to choose. Do I want to be able to watch games? Do I want to be able to do shows? Or do I want to be able to play Xbox? I only get 2 out of the 3.
Mhm.
And I had to sacrifice the Xbox. I actually might have fixed it low-key because this hasn't given me a problem. Xbox didn't give me a problem after I fixed it. And
Yeah.
the TV watched all the games today. Maybe
Tough.
I fixed it.
It hates you. Wi-Fi always rat list. Rat list transcribing quotes. So I have spent Sam,
Yeah.
the entire day today transcribing quotes for a monster article I'm working on. I'd
It'll
put
be
it
worth
off. I have done, let me see. I am like 4/5 of the way done with this one that I'm currently working on. And after that, I will only have 3 left of my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 interviews I had to transcribe. Would you like to guess how many words I have? Of the
You
ones I've done
have.
so far of
Have you
pure
just-
quotes.
You have not cut any fat off.
No, these are pure raw quotes.
You have at least 12,000 words.
18,000 words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. I will say, I was talking to Simon Pollock, editor at Celtics blog, and he was like, just be glad you have Otter, because we didn't have that shit back in the day. Shout out Otter. Because if I had to do this all
What does
just
that
listen,
do?
it transcribes it for you effectively. You just have to go through and make sure it all. So I just have to listen and edit the stuff that's wrong. So it's fine. But imagine how much longer it would take me if I didn't have that.
You just got to start
Exactly.
making up quotes.
Yeah. Well, no.
Start making up
But look at
quotes.
this. Ready? Look at this Google Doc. I'm not gonna like zoom in for a long time so it doesn't spoil it. But like,
Oh my gosh. You could put the Star Wars opening credits to this. Of it just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
48 pages of quotes.
When's the last time you watched Star Wars?
I've only seen it like once. It was in high school.
I haven't seen Star Wars since I was a kid.
I watched the prequels when I was I watched them all when I was super young. And the prequels when I was super young because my dad showed them to me. But then I haven't. I watched like the latter 3, quote unquote, but like the first 3, but like you know what I'm saying? Because they did it fucking weird.
Yes.
I watched that when I was in high school because my friends were big fans and they wanted to go see like the newer Star Wars that came out when we were in high school. And so I watched those. We watched like all 3 of them while sitting down. And then we went to see the other one like all in one night or one day or something, which is fun. It was a good time.
Maybe in the summer I'm just gonna run through like that Harry Potter. Like, what am I gonna do in the summer?
I
going on.
Fucking love Harry Potter. I
got really sad today. I was like driving around and I was like, damn, in like a couple months I'm not gonna have anything going on.
Were you a Harry Potter guy?
No.
No, I was gonna say
I didn't hate it. I just
Have you seen
never
it? Did you know the
I
question?
saw the movies like all once,
but like
and I
did
didn't
you
see past 5.
did you read them?
No.
Come on. I did read them. Well, I read them in 5th grade and I made a deal. So I started them at like the beginning of the school year. And my dad isn't a big reader. But I was like, Dad, you should read these because they're good. Like 5th grade Jack.
Someday with my kid,
this-
I'll have this experience.
This is heat. Well, no. I said, Dad, if I finish these in a calendar year, and these are like, I'm in 5th grade. These are hefty books. If I finish these in a calendar year, you have to read them all so we can watch the movies together. And he's like, all right, I'll make that deal with you. It was September at the start of school year. I finished them by December. I loved it. I
Guy must have
through
been
them.
rattled.
Yeah, but he shout out.
He thought he
Mr.
wasn't
Mo.
happy. He was
I
like,
know.
no shot. I have to read these fucking
He
books.
he held up. Shout out to him. He held up his end of the bargain. He read them all, and then we enjoyed the books, enjoyed the movies. It was a good time talking about it with him. And then they had a Harry Potter exhibit come to the Children's Science Museum, and it was like in depth. Like they had a bunch of like interactive stuff. They had a bunch of like props from the movies. Like it was a whole thing, and it was like very short lived. Like it was a very exclusive thing, and we went to see it. I went to see it once with my mom, once with my dad, and it was fucking awesome. It was very sick.
So you wouldn't go to Universal if they played Orlando and do the Harry Potter stuff?
I'd go. Oh, I'd absolutely go. I just wouldn't go on the rides. I like theme parks and stuff. I just don't.
I mean,
like
there's a Harry Potter ride that I don't remember being crazy.
Sam, we've been over this.
You don't like any rides?
No. Nothing fast. Well, like I'll do the fucking like teacups and stuff, but like roller coasters.
Well, Universal has rides that I'm not even sure move.
Well, I'll do rides like fucking what's it called? Like a ride through of like It's a Small World. You know what I'm saying?
I think the Harry Potter ride is kind of like that. Like you would like it.
But yeah, if there's something like that, I'll do it. I'd like anything fast or high up. I'm out.
They got like holograms and shit.
Yeah.
I
I'll
did
do
it when
something like that.
This was 7 years ago now, so I'm sure they got it cracking now with new technology.
Yeah, no, I'll do stuff like that. I love Harry Potter. Also, underrated one, Percy Jackson Rock. Did you read those or see those?
I'm pretty sure that guy's from Rhode Island that wrote the books.
Rick Riordan?
Yeah.
Riordan.
I did read I read some of those books. I think I got 3 or 4 done.
He is from San Antonio, Texas. Who are you thinking of?
Close. I'm just trying to claim people.
I don't see anything. David McCauley.
Joe
I
Missouri.
don't know what he did.
That's what
anyways. Okay, buddy. That and underrated one. You ever hear the 39 Clues books?
No, I never heard of those. What are those?
It's like 2 kids whose I don't know if their parents like pass away or their like grandma passes away or somebody in their family like passes away, and they go to like the wake or something. I think this is how it starts. And they find like an old book, and they literally have to find like 39 clues around the world that people have been searching for years. And they'll like go into like the catacombs in Paris searching for shit. They'll go into like famous shit around the world, like Venice, and like they'll find it was very cool. I don't know how to explain it without like getting a book and finding it, but that was very cool. And then obviously I'm just thinking of books now. You ever read Jack and Annie as a child?
No. Never heard of that.
Oh my god, Jack and Annie was my shit. I read a lot as a kid, and I don't now because I've dumbed myself down.
Yeah, now you. What do you think of TikTok?
Magic Treehouse books is what they.
Magic Treehouse was.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's Jack and Annie. Yeah, and for what it's worth, we're talking about Genki in this bitch. I look like this motherfucker Jack. Like
Jack really looks like Jack. Hot take.
Look at this shit.
That's
Ready?
not as fun.
I mean,
if you have the same name, I don't.
It's just fucking me.
I need to pull it up full screen. Let's see.
Mm.
Yeah, all right.
Like, it's your boy hanging out. But Magic Treehouse is a heater. I was a substitute teacher for a while. Excuse me, and I
Did you ever actually
I
go
saw
into
those
class?
Books. What do you mean?
As a sub? Like you actually subbed?
Yeah,
subbed?
all the time. Yeah.
Really?
That was my job for like
when was
2
this?
winter breaks, 3 winter breaks. When I was in college, I subbed during the year during my breaks. I had a kid run away once. That was fun, kind of. They just like ran out of the room. Well, they punched somebody over a book, and I said, "You can't do that." And she just like ran out of the room, and I like chased. I'm like, "Come back!" Like, hello. And the other teachers helped me out, but it was fun. It was a good time. I enjoyed subbing. I was gonna be a teacher. I enjoyed it. It's just
sometimes I think about teaching. Imagine me trying to teach.
No.
That's what my mom always says. I'm like, yeah. What if I went back to school and teach? She's like, Rat List, the movies. So I went to the movies yesterday, and we've had this discussion before, Jack. Best part of going to the movies has been Showcase Cinema dropped Oreo popcorn.
Yeah.
We arrive early showing, 4 p.m. showing yesterday, Pacific time, just in case you're wondering if I was at work. And they don't have any concessions for that popcorn. They have regular popcorn. They don't have the Oreo popcorn. Whatever. Get the popcorn. Go see the movie. Come back out. They got it stocked. They got Oreo popcorn. Now that it's too late, they got it. By the way, saw that new Zendaya movie with the tennis? Great movie.
I heard there's a lot of, for lack of a better word, fucking. I heard there's a lot of. That's like the only thing I saw, and this was trailers like a year ago. There's just a lot of sexual tension, is what I've
There's
seen.
a lot of tension, but like
My whole
It's
thing
not
is
that
I just saw the memes when it was coming out, and it was like right as Tom Holland and Zendaya started dating, like when the trailers, and everyone was like Tom Holland and Shane.
Oh, that's the movie with the trailers. That was what that. All right. Well, I went in the movie blind. Like I didn't know what I was getting into.
But you remember those trailers, right? That I'm talking about.
You know what was in this movie? You do, because I told you. Brian Dew, who used to be the strength trainer for the Celtics. Can you pull him up, Jack? For those of you that may not recognize the name, you may recognize his face. Bobby Kravitsky knew him. Jack did not. They turned this movie on. He's in like the first scene. I'm like, oh my God, I know who that is. I'm like getting all excited. I'm like, he used to work for the Celtics. He's in this movie. And my girlfriend like could not care less. I'm like, that's him. He's like literally sitting next to Zendaya in like the most tense scenes while they're watching tennis.
Side note, quote on the Celtics wall in their old practice facility: "What hurts more, the pain of hard work or the pain of regret?" Get your act together, fellas. Come on.
Why'd you take down the quote?
Also, random. Do you miss the yellow seats? Or do you like what they have now?
I like the yellow seats.
Okay, yeah. That's what I figured. You're very traditional.
You don't like the yellow seats?
I don't think it matters. I think the black fits the arena better, but
I think the black works. I just like the yellow seats. I think they look cool.
It just
it was
just
unique.
What it was
because it didn't match. It was like almost like a. It's
it
like,
was like for the Bruins, but then the Celtics.
It's like when your car kind of doesn't work. Like Ray, back in the day, had this car where when he was driving the car, he could just take the key out of the ignition. It's like part of the charm. Like it's not the way it's supposed to be, but it's
I don't know how to explain this. But of all of your friends that would have some shit like that, it's Ray.
Ray, it was like the best car ever. It was like you had that. One of his mirrors was squeaking. His back passenger side door wouldn't open, so he had like a bunch of us because Ray's older than all of us, and he was only like a drive. You have to like shuffle across the back seat.
Ray's just like, no, it's fine, guys. Come on, like, what the fuck do you mean?
And the best part about this car, it was a complete shitbox, and he had this bumper sticker that said "No fat chicks" because the car will scrape.
Jesus.
and it was so funny because it was like actually believable. It's like you put too much weight in this thing, it's creating some sparks.
That's horrible. I will say about the yellow seats to black seats, like the black seats objectively make more sense because it's Bruins and Celtics, and you just need something that like is both. But like I agree, the yellow seats were like so.
It was
not
just like
iconic.
a charm thing.
Yeah, but it's like you knew it was TD Garden when you saw that shit.
Yeah.
For a fun story about that, my dad and sister went to a concert at TD Garden. They bought the tickets when it was the yellow seats, but the concert happened when they moved to the black seats. And so when they got there, their seats just didn't exist because they changed it around. Like, and so they just put them in a box. Like they just ended up in a box with all the other people's whose seats didn't exist. So they just got to chill the whole night, which is cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but their seats were just like, they're like, our seats are gone. They're like, your seats are gone. Like, yeah, correct.
Speaking of concerts, it sounds like he's coming back.
Gambino?
Childish Gambino is going to go on tour.
That's hype. That is hype.
I don't know anything about where he's going. He says he's coming out with 2 albums.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's going on tour.
Didn't he already come out with a song with Kanye, or was that AI that I heard on?
So
TikTok?
he he did like a promo thing, and that was part of it. But it's supposed to be part of one of the albums.
He referenced the TikTok guy in the song Kanye did.
So TikTok. What do you think? Pretty sure they're banning it.
They've said they're banning it for like 4 months.
I thought ISO Joe signed
it. Maybe. If it happens, what's gonna happen is everyone's just gonna watch like Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts instead. YouTube Shorts are horrendous. They're terrible. They're so bad. Like unbelievably bad.
Why are they bad?
TikTok just does a better job of like
making it so you can't quit.
No, like, well, yeah, but it's like their algorithm for like feeding you content that you care about is much better than the others. which is probably why that U.S. is like, they know too much. Get them out of here. But yeah. Anyways, anything else?
No, I think we did a good job.
Are you sure?
I
just got a Drake May update on my phone. You don't want to rat list the NFL
I'm
draft.
sick and tired of these fucking people with the draft. I mean, I had somebody blowing on my group chat during this fucking Pacers game. I mean, this is like game of the fucking month, and you're talking about the fucking second round of the draft. Who gives a fuck? And this dude Colby is like a diehard Michigan fan, so he's just like watching the draft, waiting for his players to get picked. Like he's not even like really rooting for the Patriots. He's just like, pick a Michigan guy.
I will say, just to humor the Patriots fans, because I watch football when it happens. Drake May, cool. Jalen Polk, cool. And all the people who cover the Patriots that I talked to, like, said, like, yeah, Drake May's good. And CJ Stroud, who's like very good,
private chat
was
incoming. You want to talk about Drake May?
CJ Stroud was like, Drake May's awesome. Like he said, I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. Yeah, he's a hooper too. I saw this. Motherfucker got the skills. Here's Bill Simmons' tweet on Drake May. The real Drake May highlights. No one can talk about. Just him fucking hooping.
He's hooping.
Look at him. He's a shooter.
What else would he be?
Bang. Yeah, it's true.
What else did you expect?
Yeah, look at him go. Ooh, a little post fade.
Little post fade. Respect.
Wish Tatum
looks like
that.
Middleton.
Sorry, I made a you joke. Anyways, that's all I got. You got anything?
What
else?
did you say?
I said that Tatum needs to make that.
He does need to make that. If Tatum can make that, they would have had
no.
3 more
I take
wins.
it back. The Celtics need to stop. Don't shoot it. That's what happened against the Heat. Don't do it.
He made him in game 1.
Please. But not in game 2. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Alrighty. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel. Like I said at the start of the show, new content every single day. I'll be in Miami covering the games, and we'll have shit for you every day on the channel. Appreciate it. I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yep. Thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like Jack said, we have new content every single day. We're coming at you with these pods Tuesday, Thursday, and typically Sunday. The playoffs have fucked us around, so we've had to do them on Saturdays. We'll have one on the weekend. That's our promise. We'll be here no matter what. You can also find game recaps the morning after each game. We will have one for game 3 and other videos in between. We also stream on the channel. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do Talk and Seas with Bobby Kravitsky of SI Media inside the Celtics. We do Celtics at the Round Table on Tuesday nights around 6 p.m. It's me, Jack, Bobby, and some other Celtics beat writers chopping it up, doing trivia, talking about current events. And then we do pregame streams. We're here a half hour before each game. No matter what, come hang out. It's a ton of fun. And while Jack's in Miami, I will be on Celtics blog playback doing game 3 with Jake. So if you get lonely or you're nervous, we won't help you, but we'll be there. Spotify and Apple. Follow us there. Pods and game recaps will be right in your feed. And you can leave a 5-star review on Apple. And if you follow us on Spotify, I think it counts followers now. So do that. Because it'll be like, look how sick these guys are. Everyone likes them. You can email us. hbtcpod@gmail.com is the address for that. We got several emails today. Shout out to you guys, especially those that don't usually email. We do appreciate that. So get in on the fun. It is the playoffs. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us your rat list. Love to hear from you very much. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Maybe not TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can find our streams there and on YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack Simone NBA. Mine's at Samuel France NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.